Serbs in Bosnia are voting today in a referendum over a disputed national holiday on January 9th. That date marks the day in 1992 that Bosnian Serbs declared the creation of their own state, adding fuel to the fire of a devastating war. But a top court vetoed the vote today, saying it discriminates against non-Serbs. France 24's Laurent Rouy told us more from Belgrade.
This referendum that is being held today was highly controversial because it sparked some tensions between the Serbs and the Bosnian community. It's important to understand that the question that is at stake, it's not really important. This national day is being celebrated for more than 20 years, and it was not a problem for anyone in Bosnia and Herzegovina. The point is that there is a local election that is going to take place in about 1 week. The nationalist parties of all sides are losing some of their voters, and possibly it was very interesting for them to have this kind of very controversial issue that would spark some tensions just ahead of the election in order to gain a little bit better result. As far as the question of the referendum is concerned, this is a question about the existence of or not of this national day. So it is totally impossible that this disappears. I mean, the yes will prevail, and heavily. What is also very important is to understand that this could have been solved on another way, for example, with some new legislation. The Constitutional Court of Bosnia intervened in the past days, and a solution was found. The day will be renamed. The name of the day will be slightly changed. So basically there is no real object for today's referendum except sparking tensions ahead of the local election in 1 week.
That's France 24's Laurent Rouy reporting for us from Belgrade. All right, we'll wrap up now here in Paris, where the French capital is going car-free today. Just about half of all Paris streets are closed off to motorized vehicles for the second annual Journée sans voiture, or Day Without Cars. Motorized vehicles can drive in the other half of the city, but at just a snail's pace. That operation, you can see there, goes on to 6 p.m. tonight, despite the rainy weather we've been seeing here today. We'll leave you with that. Thanks for watching France 24. Stay tuned. I'll be back in 15 minutes with more.
You live here now?
Yes.
Okay, see you later.
Before being imprisoned, Tan Min Aung was an engineer in Rangoon, Burma. In 2003, he went into exile in Malaysia, where he began to comprehend the real situation in his country. The contrast was shocking. He decided to return to Burma to join the opposition. Arrested for fighting the junta, he was sentenced to 15 years in prison.
I was first tortured in an interrogation center. They only let me sleep for 15 minutes at a time. I had but one obsession: to sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw people coming to beat me. Like monsters trying to strike me with huge hammers. Sometimes the nightmares became unbearable. And that was just the beginning. The conditions were worse in prison. After my release, my mother helped us a lot. She brought us food, but we couldn't depend on her forever.
This is the border crossing in Mae Sot, the first city in Thailand after the Burmese border. It's here, at the height of the repression, that activists hunted by the regime sought refuge. In the late 1990s, up to 3,000 were in hiding here.
My name is Boji. I am former political prisoner. I had been arrested for 2 times for the first time, I was arrested because I did demonstration calling for the release of all political prisoners. Then for the second time, I was arrested because Burmese military intelligence, they offered me to be an informer for them. I demanded just only 2 points. One is to release all political prisoners. Second is to enter dialogue with Aung San Suu Kyi successfully. They denied my proposal. Therefore, I denied their proposal to be an informer for them. Therefore, they arrested me again, and also they sentenced me for 5 years.
In the late 90s, during the student protests, Bo Chi learned that he was wanted by the government. To avoid being arrested a third time, he decided to flee illegally across the Thai border. There, in Mysot, Bo Chi found other activists and created the AAPP, the Association for Assistance to Political Prisoners.
AAPP is doing legal assistance to political detainees. Government did not do anything for the reintegration for former political prisoners. Government did not take any responsibility on it. What we are doing is to advocate for the release of all political prisoners, and then before they were released, so we are helping them as much as we can in order to improve prison situation. And also we have like a rehabilitation program for former political prisoners and their family members.
In early 2011, the military junta was officially dissolved. Bo Chi made contact with Ko So, his former cellmate. He offered him the job of leading the AAPP in Rangoon, now that the organisation was authorised back in Burma. The massive prisoner amnesty programme that followed meant the launch of a huge field operation.
This is the AAPP office, and the picture. They are all former political prisoners, and the name on their palm in prison. So they demand to release all political prisoners immediately and unconditionally. This is Wimo, also from a political prisoner. Now he is journalist in New York Times, and on his palm is Saw That Tone. This is my name, and he demands to release me. There's many prisons in our country. There is the prison that I will show you the prison I was kept. Firstly, when I was arrested in Rangoon 1991, I was kept in Rangoon is a prison. Second time, I was re-arrested in 1999, and firstly, I was kept in Ise prison just 3 months, and then I was transferred to Tauri prison. Yes, I was kept in Tauri for 12 years. The most political prisoner is in Tauri prison, the Ise prison. And then I would like to explain about this is very, very important. This is the vision, mission, objective, and AAPP activities. After release, we should have our right to safe participation in democratization process, because we are disturbed. We were disturbed after prison, not only in prison, but many people think we were tortured in prison. After prison, it's all okay, but not like that.
Systematic torture and mistreatment in Burma's prisons have lasting consequences. Detainees' physical and psychological scars are hard to heal. They cause a lifetime of distress, and there are few treatments.
Most former political prisoners have psychological problems. Myself, I became one of these people after my release. Also, for some, their families have broken after release from prison. Burmese society is not very familiar with psychology. When you talk about mental health,